So in the yesterday's class, we have discussed about the IP address. So IP address is used to assign to a device so that the device can participate in a network. Without IP address, no one can participate in a network. So we have seen that total range of the IP address is 0.0.0 till 255.255.255.255. This complete range is divided into multiple classes. So it is divided into how many classes?
5 classes.
It is divided into 5 classes. So you have class A is there, class B is there, class C is there, D is there, and E is there. So what is the range of class A? The class A starts from
2.22.
no, 0.0.0. This is very, very important to remember. Till 127.255.255.255. Okay. What is the range of class B? 128.
128 to
0.0 till 191.255.255.255. Class C,
Class C 192.0
0.0.0 till
223.
255.255.255. The range of class D is 224.0.0 till 239.255.255.255. Class E starts from 240.0.0.0 and will end at 255.255.255. So in this, out of all these classes, what is the purpose of class D? Why we are? Is there any special purpose of class D, or anyone can use the class D?
No, it is a special purpose of class D.
So what is the purpose of class D?
I mean, for high extent users only, you can use this one.
So class D is reserved for the multicasting. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever a device wants to communicate with the multiple devices, group of devices, it is known as the multicast communication. So it is reserved for the multicast communication, which you will see in the later on classes. Okay. Then what is the usage of class E?
It's a broadcaster.
It is used for research and development.
Yeah.
Class D is reserved for multicasting. Class E is reserved for the research and development or for the future purpose. And whenever you want to assign any IP address for any device in a network, then you can use those IPs from the ABC only. Okay. In these ABC classes, also some addresses you cannot use, like 0.0.0 is reserved. 127.0.0.0 is reserved for the self-testing or the loopback. Okay. And some other addresses are there which are reserved so that you cannot use those addresses. So whatever the available addresses are there, from that only you can use the IP addresses. Okay. Then how many network bits and how many host bits will be in the class A?
One network bit, sir, and the 3
One
hosts.
network octet. You will have the one network octet in the class A, and how many host octets?
3, sir.
3 host octets will be there. In the class B?
Class B, 2 network octets and 2 hosts.
And in class C?
In class C, 3 network octets and
3
1
network octet and 1 host octet. What about the class D and E?
In class D,
You will not have anything like this because these are the for the special purpose, multicasting and the future purpose research and development. You will not have any network portion and host portion in the class D and E. Okay. So if I purchase and if I get a network from class A, how many IP addresses will be in that network?
16 million.
16 million IP addresses, around 16.7.
7.
Class B,
In class B, 65,000 IPs. 60.
65,534 IPs. Class C, 254 IPs. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the subnet mask in the class A?
Class A, 255.255.2.
Yes, since it is one network octet, the subnet mask will be the 255.0.0. Class B, since it is two network octets, 255.255.0.0. Class C, since you got three network octets, you can write 255.255.255.0. So we have other method also for writing the subnet mask. CIDR method. In that method, how you are going to write the subnet mask?
/8 like that.
Yeah. So if it is class A, I can write like this, or just I can mention like /8. Class B, since two octets are network, 2 times 8 plus 8, it will be /16. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And class C, it will be /24.
Yes.
Okay. Then, is there any problem with these classful addressing? Do you have any problem with this classful addressing, with this method of addressing classes?
No problem, sir.
Technically here, not whether you
Ah,
understood or not, but is
ah,
any problem here? Wastage of IP addresses will be there.
yeah.
How the wastage of IP address will be there?
For example, I am using C, class C, then I need only 20 IP address. So remaining 255 address, remaining IPs will be wasted.
Remaining IPs will be wasted. Okay. So in order to overcome that problem, what we are going to do, we use a method known as subnetting.
Yes, sir.
So the reason of subnetting is, for example, suppose I have given someone this network 192.168.1.0 with the subnet mask 24 because this is from the class C. Okay. So his IPs will start from 192.168.1.0, 1.1, 1.2. Then these IPs will end up at 192.168.1.254 and 192.168.1.255. So by this subnet mask only we can identify how many IPs you will get. So number of hosts, yesterday we have seen the formula. What is it? Number of hosts is equal to 2 power number of host bits minus 2. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here 24 are the network bits. Always the subnet mask will contain the network bits information. Okay. So we know that IPv4 contains total 32 bits. Out of these 32 bits, 24 bits are the network bits. It means how many will be the host bits? 8 bits will be the host bits. So 2 power 8 minus 2, you will get the value 254. Okay. So by this subnet mask only, subnet mask is very, very important. Okay. With the subnet mask only, everything will be there in the IP addressing or the subnetting. So /24 means 24 network bits. Okay. So if you have 24 network bits, you will get 254 IPs. But now my requirement is 100 IPs. I don't want to use this network in one location. I want to use in the 4 branch offices. I want to use this network in the 4 different departments. But each department doesn't want to have these many IPs. They want to have less IPs. So what I can do here, if I increase the length of this subnet, means if I increase the number of network bits from 24 to some other value. For example, if I make it 27, automatically the number of host bits will be decreased. So now normally total bits are 32 bits. Previously network bits were 24. Now how to change, we'll see. Just for example, we can change this thing. So in case if I give a customer, or if I take the subnet mask 27, then number of host bits will be how much? 5.
5.
So if I substitute this value here, number of hosts is equal to 2 power 5 minus 2. It means automatically the number of IPs are decreased. Okay. So what I mean to say here, if I want to decrease the number of IPs which I am going to get in a network, for that I have to increase the network bits. Instead of 24, I need to make 27. I need to borrow some host bits into the network portion. Then only what will happen, then only the number of IPs will be decreased. It means you are dividing a network into smaller networks. When it is possible, if you are going to convert the IPs. Okay. So let's see here, some theory part is there. So with the help of classical addressing, we are going to waste the IP addresses. To avoid this wastage of IP addresses, we are doing the subnetting. Subnetting means you are breaking a network into smaller networks based upon your requirement. This is done by converting the host bits into the network bits. You are converting the host bits into the network bits. Once you do the subnetting, after subnetting, whatever networks you are going to get, every new network will have the new network ID, new broadcast ID, new subnet mask. Everything will be new. Okay. So what is in the previous slide, it is saying that subnetting means breaking a network into multiple networks based upon your requirement. So normally, for example, once again the same thing, I have the 192.168.1.0 network. I will get 1, 2, 3, 4, many IPs till 254 and 255. Now this is one single network. One network means it can be used only in the one department or one branch office or one local area network only. But now since I want less IPs, I want to divide this network into multiple smaller pieces, multiple subnets, like 4 subnets. Okay, so that I can use this one subnet at one location, the next subnet at different branch office or the different department. So like this I can use it in the multiple different locations. Okay, once you divide this, once this becomes one network, then automatically the first IP will become the network ID, last IP will become the broadcast ID, whichever the IP is. The first IP will become the network ID, broadcast ID, network ID. So like this, automatically the network ID and broadcast ID will be getting separated. For every subnet, one new network ID, one broadcast ID. For every subnet, for every piece of a network, one new network ID, broadcast ID, as well as the subnet mask will be changed.
Okay.
Okay. So why we are going to do the subnetting?
To decrease the wastage of the IPs.
To decrease the wastage of IP addresses. So
Yes.
how we are going to avoid this? What we are going to do in the subnetting? Subnetting
Uh,
will convert the host bits into the network bits, by which we divide a network into multiple smaller networks. And once a network is divided, our job will be to identify the network ID and the broadcast ID for every network. And we need to identify what is the new subnet mask. Okay. So let's start with this one. This subnetting can be done in the different methods. Okay. You have the first method, fixed length subnet mask, and the second method is a variable length subnet mask. The important one is the second method, but to understand the second method, we will have the first two methods for FLSM. In the FLSM, we will see two types. First, we'll start with the network requirement. Then next, we'll go with the host requirement. Then we'll see the VLSM. Okay. So first, let's go with the subnetting based on the network requirement. Okay. So in this subnetting based on the network requirement, our first question is, I have a network 192.168.1.0 with subnet mask 24. Okay, and always remember this point, /24 is 24 network bits. Okay, now this network, we know that it contains 254 IPs. It will start from the 0, it will end at 255. Okay, and this is one network. Now I don't want to have this network in my department, which maybe in my office I have 4 departments. Account department is there, HR department is there, manager department is there, some several departments are there, or assume total 4 departments are there. So each department is having requirement of less IPs. They don't want to use the 254 IPs. Very few employees are there, very few users are there. So I got a requirement that I want to use this network in 4 departments. So one network cannot be directly used in the 4 departments. You have to divide into 4 pieces. Okay. Or you got a scenario where you want to use this network at 4 different branch offices in order to not to wastage the IP address, in order to save the IP address. Or you have a big service provider, a customer came and he's saying that I want to have a network of 50 IPs. So at that time also you want to divide this network into a smaller network which can contain 50 IPs. So based upon your requirement, you will do these things. So at the end, our job is, requirement is, I want to divide this network, requirement is, divide this network into the 4 subnets so that I can use into the 4 different locations. Okay. So the same thing I am writing once again, 192.168.1.0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 254 and 255. So now normally the first IP will call as a network ID, the last IP is known as the broadcast ID. But now I am dividing into 4 networks. 1 network, 2 network, 3 network. So this network ID, we know it starts from 1.0, but we don't know the broadcast ID. We need to find this one. We don't know the network ID. We need to find this one. We don't know the broadcast ID. We need to find this one. We need to find the network ID, broadcast ID. We need to know the network ID here. Broadcast ID already we know 255. So once we divide a network into multiple subnets, at the end we need to get the information of every subnet. That first subnet starts from 0 and where it is going to end. Okay. So our aim is to determine these values. So how to determine these values? We have certain formulae. Based upon those formulas, we can identify these values. Okay. Though the first method is subnetting, this I will write here, subnetting based on the network requirement. We are doing the FLSM in that subnetting based upon the network requirement. Okay. So requirement is 4 subnets. The formula is 2 power n should be greater than or equal to the requirement. So previous slide we have seen that subnetting can be achieved. We can get the subnetting by converting the host bits into the network bits. By converting the host bits into a network bits. But how many bits I have to convert, I don't know. So you remember that previously I wrote, instead of /24, randomly I wrote /27. Means something like 3 bits I have converted. But I want to know exact value. If I want to get 4 subnets, only 4 subnets, how many bits I have to convert, that can be derived from this value. 2 the power of n should be greater than or equal to the requirement. So 2 power how much will be greater than or equal to 4? 2 power 0 is 1, to the power of 1 is 2, to the power of 2 is 4, to the power of 3 is 8. So which value will satisfy? To the power of how much will be greater than or equal to 4? Greater than or equal to 4.
2 power 2.
Yes, to the power of 2 will satisfy. So we will say 2 power 2 is equal to 4. So n value will be how much? N value will be 2. So whatever the power value is there, this will be the n value. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we were on a way of how many bits should be converted. Now with the help of this formula, we got to know that we have to convert 2 bits. Okay. Then what is the meaning of converting these 2 bits? Let's see here. This is from which class?
C.
How many network octets and how many host octets will be there?
3 networks and 1
Three
host.
networks and 1 host. So the important point is whenever you are converting bits, you can never convert the bits from the network to host. Only host can be converted to the networks. Okay. So you have 3 network octets, 1 host octet, and we know every octet contains 8 bits. So I'm writing those values only. The first octet is network octet, second octet network, third octet network, fourth octet host. Host will have how many bits? 8 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits. Okay, and we know these power values: 2 power 0, 1, 2 power 1, 2, 4. Yesterday we have seen these values: 16, 32, 64. Every octet will start from 0 and it will end at 128. Okay. So now what he is saying, the n value is 2. Since n value is 2, you have to convert the 2 host bits into the network bits. So the first host, this is the host bit. So first bit and second bit I will take. So I will make it conversion. I will make it like n just to refer me. This is a network bit now. Okay. So just whatever the n value is there, to take those many bits. Then whatever the last bit value is there, that value it is going to help us to achieve the information about the next network ID, broadcast ID, everything. So we can say this as increment value, incremental value, or increment value. So let's see what is the benefit of identifying the increment value. So I want to know this information, no? What is the broadcast ID? So he's saying that add 64 to 0, you will get the next network. He's saying that 64 will be the next network. Add 64 to the 64, you will get the next network. Whatever values we were unable to identify, we are identifying with this incremental value. Add 64 to 128, it will get 192. Okay, so he's saying that first network we know 192.168.1.0, but we don't know the second network, third network, and fourth network. So in order to know the second network, add increment value. The increment value is 64, and this value is in the fourth octet. That's why I'm adding in the fourth octet. So he's saying that if you add 64, you will get the information about the next network. So the next network is 1.64. To the 64, if you add 64, you will get the information about the next network, that is 192.168.1.128. If you add 64 to this network, you will get one more network, that is a fourth network. It will be 192.168.1.192. If you add 192 plus 64, it will become 256, and we have to change it to the 192.168.2.0, which we cannot do because our ending point is 192.168.1.255. We
Yes.
cannot make this network portion change to the some other value. If it is changed, then it will be the some other network. It doesn't belong to our network.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so
Yes.
every time we need to add by default 64, sir. What
No,
is the
not by
default?
default 64. Why I have selected 64? Because n value is 2. Then I have selected the last network bit value, that is 64. If in case n value is 3, then the 3 bits I will convert. The last bit will be 32. I will add 32. If n value is 7, the last bit will be 2. So I will add 2. Based upon your n value, you are going to convert. You are going to add based upon the n value. Okay, everything is based upon the n value.
Hello?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was saying that everything is based on the n value.
Okay, okay,
If
got it.
n value is 2, then I will use 64. If n value is 4, then the fourth bit value is 16. So I will add by 16.
Okay.
So first we have to know how many bits you have to convert. Once we know how many bits to be converted, convert those many bits. The last bit value will give the increment value. Add the increment value to the network, then you will get the multiple subnets information. And whenever your host portion is filled up, the last value, stop there. Don't make any changes in the network portion. Okay. But now the problem is that previously the subnet mask was 24. Can I provide everyone now subnet mask 24, or I have to change the subnet mask?
We need to change.
Why?
Now the subnet change, it got changed already.
I need to change because previously it was 24 because 3 octets were network octets. But
Yes.
now I have added 2 bits. So this octet was 8 bits, 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24 it was. Now I am adding 2 extra bits. So I will give the subnet mask 26 to everyone. Every network, the subnet mask will be 26. If you do some miscalculation in the subnet mask, then the number of IPs, everything will be changed. Okay. So take a screenshot of this one.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, our requirement is 8 subnets. Okay. Same network 192.168.1.0 requirement is 8 subnets. So what will be the n value?
32, sir.
N value. Now how many
3.
bits you will convert? Simply follow the steps whatever we did. First we need to identify n value. So for the requirement of 8 subnets, what will be the n value?
2.3.
Yes, 2 power 3, 8. So how many bits you have to convert?
32, I mean 3 bits.
3 bits you have to convert. 3 bits if you convert, what will be the increment value?
32.
So your first network will be 192.168.1.0. Second network will be
Uh,
0 plus 32.
yes, sir.
Just add by 30, 32. 32 plus 32, 64. 64 plus 32, 96. 96 plus 32, 128. 128 plus 32, 160. 160 plus 32, 192. Like this, you will get many networks. And
Yes,
what
sir.
will be the subnet mask for every network?
127. I mean 27.
Subnet mask will be 24, 27 because 24 plus 3 bits we have added, it will be 27. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's do for the next one. Now, next example. So this was from the class C. Let's do the next example from the class B. Same thing, subnetting based on the network requirement, but from the class B. Okay. So class B range, what is the range of class B?
128.0.0.0 to 191.485.
One, pardon?
128.
One to start from 128 till
191.
191. Okay. So I will take a network from that range. The network is 172.16.0.0. And what will be the subnet mask for the class B?
Uh,
Class B, two
to
network octets.
60.
Two octets means 16 will be the subnet mask. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we know that this you will get many IPs in class B. It will be 172.16.0.0.0.1. Then when this becomes 0.255, then it will become 1.0. Whenever this is 255, it will change. So at the end, you will get 172.16.255.254 and 172.16.255.255. Okay. So now same thing, I want to divide this network into the 4 subnets. Okay. So I want to divide into 1 subnet, 2, 3, 4 subnets. So here I need to find the broadcast ID, network ID, broadcast ID, network, broadcast, all these things. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the first step we need to do?
We need to find the requirement.
We need to find out the n value. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the formula to find the n value?
2 power n greater than or equal to
Yes,
requirement.
requirement. So I'm writing the requirement here. First, let's start for the basic requirement is force subnet, the same thing what we have done with the class C. So the formula is 2 to the power of n must be greater than or equal to the requirement. Requirement is 4 subnets. Okay. So 2 power how much will be equal to 4? 2 to the power of 2 will be equivalent to 4. So n value will be how much?
2.
2. So now previously it was class C, so I have taken 3 network octets and 1 host octet. This is class B, so how many network octets and how many host octets?
2 network and 2 host octets.
So network, host and host. Okay. So in these 2 network octets, so I will write the network portion. We cannot do anything, so I will write network. Host portion I will expand. This octet contains 8 bits, so I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits. And this octet also contains 8 bits, 3, 6, 7, 8 bits. Okay. So we know that every octet will start from 1 and it will end at 128. Okay.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 4. These values you should remember. 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So n value is 2. So we will convert how many bits? 2 bits. We will convert the 2 bits. If we convert the 2 bits, then what will be the increment value?
2 plus, I mean, plus 64.
Increment value will be 64. So our network is 172.16.0.0. And this is your first network. In order to know the second network, you have to add the increment value 64. So in which octet you want to add? In the first octet, second, third, or fourth? Which octet you want to add?
In the third.
Why in the third? Why not in the previous example we have added in the fourth octet?
Fourth. Yeah, sorry, fourth.
It's not fourth, it's third only. So in whichever octet you got the increment value, the first octet is this one, the second octet is this one, this is the third octet. You got the value in the third octet, so you must add in the third octet only, plus 32 in the 64 in the third octet. So your next network will be 172 16.64.0. Okay. And the next network, add in third octet only. Just add by 64. Don't make it first time 64, next time 128, next time 192. Don't add up by those. Your addition value will be increment value only. So 64 plus 64 will be 128. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So 128 plus 64 will be 192. So it will be 172.16.192.0. But if I add 64 to 192, it will become 255. If I want to 256, so I cannot make 16 as 17 because this is a network portions. So I have to stop here. Okay, only 4 subnets I will get. So what should be the subnet mask?
Two 255.0.
First, let me know in the slash notation. This is class B, no? It was class 16, but now it will be how much?
Now slash 16, sir.
Why 16? How many bits are there now? 8 bits here, 8 bits here. How many you have added more?
Now two.
So it will be how much?
18.
18. Or if you want to write like this, like 255 method, you can write 255 first octet, second octet 255. In third octet, you have added 2 bits. 2 bits means add these two values, 128 and 64, it will be 192. So you can write subnet mask slash 18, or you can write 255 255 192. Why 192? Because 2 bits value is 128 and 64. So you can use any one of these methods, slash 18 or 255 255 192.0.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
One second, sir. I'll take this one, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So now can you do for the one more method? Same network. You have the network 172.16.0.0 slash 16, but my requirement is 25 subnets. So just give me the method. I will write here whatever you say. Requirement is 25 subnets. Then how to start? What should we do first?
We need to find the n value first.
So what is the formula?
Formula will be 2 to the power of n greater than requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the requirement now?
25.
25. So what will be the n value? N value will be how much?
2 to the power 14.
2 power 2 is how much?
2 power 13, sir.
2 power 13.
I mean, greater than or equal to it. So 2 to the power 13 is 26. Like that.
I saw. Upset. 2 power 3 is how much?
2 power 3 is 6, sir.
8.
Okay.
2 multiplied 3 times 8. 2 multiplied 4 times will be how much? Double करो बस, just double it. 4 double of 2 4, double of 4 8, double of 8 is 16.
Okay.
Double of 16 is how much?
32.
Okay. 2 power 13 का कितना था मालूम? 81. Okay. So n value will be how much now?
to the power of
Can you take 2 power 4? It will be only 16. The formula is 2 the power of n should be greater than or equal. So
yeah,
it can be more than 25 or it can be 25. Okay. And 22 power 5 is 32. You will never go with the 2 power 6 also. No need of 2 power 6 also. 2 power 6 is 64. You will say 2 power 5 is enough. So
yes,
n value is how much?
5.
5. So once you get the n value, what is the next step?
Subnetting, I mean, dividing.
How? What should I write? Just let me know whatever I should write. I will write it.
I
You
need
have
to
taken
find
the previous screenshot. No, you can use that one also.
we need to find the network. I mean,
Network portion and host portion. So how many network bits are there here? This is from which class? Class B. How many
yeah,
network portion and how many host?
yeah, 2 network portions and 2 hosts.
So we write network, host. Then network portion, host bits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then what next? What should I do now?
Five. I means
Convert 5 host bits into network. So shall I second from the third octet or fourth octet? Which octet I have to select?
take a third octet.
Only the nearest to the network. So that is the third octet.
Yeah.
So from the
Yes.
third octets, I will select the 5 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits. Okay. Then already we know these values 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So what will be the increment value?
Yeah, 8 will be the increment value.
8 will be the increment value. Okay. Then after getting the increment value, what we have to do?
We need to add to subnet.
Add this network, not subnet.
No, sorry.
16 dot. In which octet we need to add?
The third.
Third octet. Okay. So the value will be 172.16.8.0. Okay. 172.16.16.0. 16 plus 8, 24.0. 24 plus 8, 32.0.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what should be the subnet mask?
Subnet marks 16 plus 5, 21, sir.
Yes, very good. In decimal format, how you are going to write 21? First octet 255,
Yeah,
second
255.
octet 255, third octet
Third octet will be dot 8.
dot
8. I mean,
not 8. Add these values, whatever the top values are there, add these values. Up from 255, remove these values.
okay.
128 plus 64, 192. 192 plus 32, 224. 224 plus
248.
16, 240. 240 plus 8, 248. So directly you can say 248.0. Just remove 7 bits from 255. If you remove 7 bits from 255 also, it will be 252.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So slash 21. Sorry, sir. Okay. So now by your own, take this one also. Take the screenshot of this one also.
Yes, sir.
Done?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's
Okay, now do the next one. Same thing. You have the network 170. I will not help anything. Just you need to do this. and give me the complete answer. And the requirement is I want to divide it into the 1000 subnets. Just you need to know the value. 2 power 8 is 60, 2 power 7 is 128. This is 128. 2 power 8 is 256. Okay. 2 power 9 is 512. Double it. Okay. 2 power 10 is 1024. Okay. 2 power 11 is 2048. So take your time, 5 minutes, and do this one. I will be back in 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
What is the answer?
Sure, actually, the subnet range is to 26, sir.
Okay, so what is the n value you got?
N value is 10, sir.
N value is 10, okay. 2 power 10 is greater than 1000, okay. And then after that, what you did?
Uh,
Yes. After this, 3, 6, 7, 3, 6,
8.
8. So how many bits we have to convert? 10. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So 10 bits we have to convert. So we'll count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. What will be the
64.
increment value? 64. So this 64 you are going to add in which octet?
In the second one, second only, sir. Second
This is
octet.
the first octet, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth. So you got the increment value in the fourth octet, then you must add in the fourth octet only. So if the increment value is the fourth octet, 0 plus 64, 0.64. Then it will be 172.16.0.128. 128 plus 64, 192. 192 plus 64,
250.
6. You can write 256, we can write.
No, no.
But already we know this is class B, network, host. So I can utilize this
Sure.
octet 192 plus means I will do 1.0, 1.64, 1.128, 1.192. Then 192 plus 64, 256 means I will write 2.0. So on. Okay. What will be the subnet mask?
26, sir.
26. So everyone will get 26. How you will write 26 in the decimal format? 255 dot 250.
255 dot.
Third octet you are utilizing all the bits, so it will be 255. Fourth octet only 2 bits, it will be 192. Okay. Any doubts till here?
No, but I was thinking that, so we are planning to add in third host, right? So that is what I told the third one.
Yeah, we will see that whichever octet the increment value came up, in that octet only we are going to add.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So take the screenshot of this one.
Yes, sir.
Right. To take this one as your homework with subnetting based upon network requirement. Like you have a network 10.0.0 with subnet mask 8. The requirement is you have to divide this network into 8 subnets. The same network 10.0.0 subnet mask 8, you have to divide this network into 500 subnets. Okay. And you have one more. No need to write 500 subnet, just write few just for starting. Just we need to know, understand that we have got the information about how to add up the increment values. So the next one is requirement is something like 4,000 subnets. So this is your homework for the subnetting based on the network requirement.
Okay, sir.
Copy this one.
Yes, sir. I have taken.
Okay, copy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next, let's move for the next method. So this was subnetting based on network requirements, where we have to identify that in how many subnets we need to divide our network. Okay, so we were not bothered about how many IPs we are getting in each subnet. Okay, just we were bothered about how many networks we have to divide in the 4 networks, divide into 25 networks, or 1,000 networks. Based upon this one we are doing, we are at the end we are making sure that there is a desired number of subnets we are getting or not. Okay, so now the next method is subnetting based upon the host requirement. And before that also, this will be the first subnet. Okay, then the what will be the last subnet and how many subnets you will get.
For which one, sir?
What happened? Are you able to see my screen?
No, no. Now I was. Yes.
Okay, so what I was saying, this is the first network, this is the second network, this is the third network, fourth network. Then we want how many? 1,000 networks.
Yeah.
Okay. So what will be the last network? 1,000. How many networks actually we get? Okay. So number of networks which you are going to get, number of networks is equivalent to 2 power number of converted bits. How many bits you have converted? So here we have converted 10 bits. So you will get 2 power 10 subnets. 2 power 10 value is how much? 1024. And this last subnet, which is 1024, it will be what? It will be 172.16. The subnet mask is 255 here, so it will be 255, and the last octet value is 192. So this will be the last network. 192 plus 64, it will be 256. We cannot make 172 17. We have to stop here.
Yeah.
So here also same thing. Requirement is 25 subnets. I want to know total how many subnets I will get. 2 power number of converted bits. So we have converted how many bits? 5 bits. So 2 power 5 is 32. Then 32nd subnet will be what? 172 16 dot. Third octet value is what? 248. 248.0 will be the last network. Okay, 32nd network. Similarly, here also you want 4 subnets. Already we know the 4 subnets. It was very simple. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now the next one is subnetting based on the host requirement. This is very important. So usually we do the host requirements only. Both methods are important, but maximum this is also important.
Okay.
Now same thing. I have a network. You can use any network from the complete range. Just I am using these networks 192.160. You can take any network from class C. Okay.
Yes, sir.
192.160 and 1.0 subnet mask 24. Now I have a requirement that I don't want to have 254 IPs, but I have a requirement is something like I want 30 IP addresses. This network at this moment with the subnet mask 24, it will provide me 254 valid IPs. But I don't want to have a requirement of 254 valid IPs. I want networks which have minimum 30 IP addresses. Okay, I want a networks which have the minimum 30 IP addresses. So my requirement is divide this network into multiple networks. No matter how many networks you are going to get, but you need to make sure that I will get 30 IP addresses, 30 hosts. Maybe you are getting 2 subnets, 10 subnets, 50 subnets, 200 subnets. I am not worried about that one. Okay. I am worried about every subnet must have 30 IP addresses. Okay.
Okay.
The previous was I was making sure that how many networks I am getting. I never calculated how many IPs I am going to get. Okay, we have formula for calculation, but I didn't focus on that one because we are not bothered about the how many IPs we should get. We were supposed to identify how many networks we have to get. And you can see in that example, even the requirement is 1000 subnets. I never get exact 1000. You will get 1024. You will provide the customer 1000, remaining 25 you can give to other persons. It will not be wasted. Here also requirement is 25. You will never get 25. You will get 32. Okay. You will use the 20. You will get the 25. You will use the to give the 25 to the customer. Remaining will be given to the other customer. If you want exact number of subnet, then you need to go with this one. If the n value is 2, then you will get 4 subnets. If you want 8 subnets, then you can get exact. But if you're asking someone, like, give me 20 subnets, no one can give 20 subnets because increment value is 32. So max 32 you have to take. Okay. So based upon the formula we are following, if the requirement is 900, you can never give 900. You will get 1024, give him 900, remaining you can sell to the other customers. Okay. Similarly, now also here the requirement is 30 IP addresses. We need to divide a network into multiple subnet, but we need to make sure that every subnet must have minimum 30 IP addresses. Okay. Since the method is changed, formula is also changed. For the host requirement, the formula will be to the power of h minus 2 should be greater than or equal to the requirement. Why minus 2? Because already we have seen that for every network, one IP will be the network ID and one IP will be the broadcast ID, and these IPs will never be configured to an individual device. These are the special IPs, so these are not going to be utilized. So whenever you are going to calculate the number of IP addresses, you have to remove these two IPs. If the customer is asking 30 IPs, you need to find 32 IPs, then only you will get 32 IPs, 30 IPs. Okay. So that's why 2 power h minus 2, because of the one network ID and broadcast ID. So our requirement is 2 power how much? Minus 2 will be greater than or equal to 30. 2 power 1 is 2, we know. So what will be the h value? Jaldi. What will be the h value? 2 power how much minus 2 will be greater than or equal to 30?
Sorry, I was in mute and was telling 2 power 5, sir.
2 power 5. Okay. So 2 power 5 minus 2 is equal to 30. So h value is 5. Okay. Previously we were getting n value. N value, whatever you were getting, you were converting those host bits into network bits. But now method is changed little bit. Now same thing, I will write that this is from class C. So I will write network, network, network and a host octet. So 3 network octets and a host octet. Host octets will have 8 bits, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits. So I need to make sure that 5 host bits must be there. Previously, n value you were converting that bits, but now I don't know n value, but I know that 5 host bits must be there. I mean, first this method I will go from right to left. I will make sure 5 bits should be there. After making sure 5 bits are available, then whatever the remaining bits are there, I am going to convert them into the network bit, and the increment value will be 32. From here the same method, same, the only change is the how you are going to calculate the h value and how you are going to save. So if h value is 5, then keep 5 host bits. You have to make sure keep 5 host bits. After keeping 5 host bits, then convert remaining host bits into network bits. Okay, you have to count from here, keep 5 bits, 5 host bits. So I am keeping the 5 host bits. After keeping the 5 host bits, whatever remaining are there, I am converting. Then 32 is my incremental value. From here, the same procedure, 192, 168, 1.0, add 32. So you will get 192, 168, 1.32. Add 32, 1.64, add up 32, 1.92, 32 plus 64 plus 32, 96, 96 plus 32, 128, 160, 192, 224. 224 plus 32, 256. We will stop here. Till here, any doubt? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Sir, remaining three networks will be added to the where, sir? And I didn't get this point.
No. This method, whatever the H value is there,
Yes, sir.
you need to keep those bits. H value is 5. So count
Yes, sir.
from here 5 bits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't do anything to the 5 bits. Keep them as it is. Whatever are the leftover host bits, convert them. These are the host bits only, no? These 3 host bits, I am converting them to the network bits.
Okay.
In the previous method, if you see, whatever the n value you were getting, those many bits you were directly converting. Okay. But in this method, you are not directly converting. First, making sure that how many host bits are needed in order to get 30 IP addresses. By mistake, instead of 5 bits, I have taken 6 bits. Means, I will get increment value 64. I will get every network of 64 IPs. So he is saying that in this method, if you want to have a require 30 IP addresses, it is mandatory for you to have only the 5 host bits. Okay. If you have 5 host bits, means remaining bits are converted. Converted means now the subnet mask will be how much? 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, and these 3. Subnet mask is 27. If subnet mask is 27, then total bits are 32. 32 minus network bits are 27. Then host bits will be 5. 2 power 5 minus 2 will be 30.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you are saving 5 host bits, then only you will get 30 IPs. If by mistake I have saved the 3 bits, then 2 power 3 minus 2, I will get only the 6 IPs. So if you want to have a network where you need to have 30 IP addresses, then you have to save 5 bits, then increment value will be 32, because the 30 IPs means increment must be 32 only. If the increment is a 16 or 8, means you will not get 32 bits.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take the screenshot. I will explain one more example.
Yes, sir. Yeah, done, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's go with the one more example. Same network. We have a 192.168.1.0. By default class C. Now my requirement is I want to have a network where I will get some 6 IP addresses. Okay. I want to get 6 IP addresses. Then the formula is 2 power host bits minus 2 should be greater than or equal to 6. 2 power 3 minus 2 is equivalent to 6. So I have to keep how many host bits? 3. So this is from the class C. So it will be network, 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 and a host. Host will have 8 bits. 3, 6, 7, 8. I have to keep 3 bits, means I will count from the right side. I will take the 3 bits. Then whatever are left over host bits, I will convert them. Then the increment value will be 8, because 1, 2, 4, 8. Then your first network will be 192.168.1.0. Since I have converted 5 bits, then my subnet mask will be 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 5 bits. Okay. So it will be how much? 3, 4, 5, 24 plus 5, 29. Okay. So the next network will be 192.168.1.8 subnet mask 29. 1.8 plus 8, 16 subnet mask 29. 16 plus 8, 24. So you can see that this network, if I give to someone, his IPs will start from 192.168.1.0 and it will be stopped at 192.168.1.7 because the next network is 1.8. So you can see 1.0 will be the first IP, next is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 will be the broadcast ID, 0 will be the network ID. So how many valid IPs you are getting? 6.
6.
I want to have 6 only, no? So I got it.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I have given someone this network. So his network will start from 1.16 and it will end at 1.23. Okay, 24 is the next network. So the first IP will be 1.16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and we should stop at 23. This will be the broadcast, this will be the network. The remaining how many? 6 will be the valid IPs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if the requirement is 6 hosts, this is the formula. Any doubt now?
It's clear, sir.
Okay, copy this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then let's do the class B. I have the network 180.1.0.0/16, the class B1. I want to divide this network into multiple subnets where every network must have 100 IPs. Now help me to do this one.
Yes, sir.
So what is the formula?
2 to the power of minus
4
2.
bits minus 2 should be getting equal to 100. What will be the H value?
Actually, will be
2 power 4 is 16, 2 power 5 is 32, 2 power 6 is 64, 2 power 7 is 128, 2 power 8 is 256. So what will be the H value?
7, sir.
2
7.
power 7, okay. So H value will be 7. After this, what should I do?
No, 2 power 7. You can write how many networks and how many hosts will
So this is from which class?
is B.
So how many networks and how many hosts?
2 networks and 2 hosts.
So we write network, host.
Yes, sir.
So network span the host 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 7, 8. What next?
Uh, divide 7, sir.
Same from which octet? From the third octet nearest to the network or from the fourth octet?
The nearest one.
To a network or the last right side?
No, no, sir. Network.
Which one? Third octet or fourth octet?
Third one, sir.
See here, what I said. You need to start from where? Right side means fourth octet. Okay, we are saving the host means host will start from the last octet. So from the last octet only, no matter it is class A or class B or class C, From the last octet, you need to start counting 7 bits. If I save the 7 bits, then all of them are converted. 9 bits are converting. What is the increment value? 128. So your first network will be 180.1.0.0. Subnet mask here 8 bits. 8 bits. You have added 9 bits. That will be 25. Plus which octet you will add 128, we got in the fourth octet. This is second, this is third, this is the fourth. So plus 128 in the fourth octet, then it will be 1.0.128/25. Then it will be 180.1.128 plus 128, 256. So it will be 1.0, 1.128, 2.0, 2.128. Like this, you will get many networks. The last network will be 180.1.255.128 will be the last network. But take any network, every network will get 126 valid IPs. Because 2 power 7 minus 2 to 128 minus 2 is 126. Every network will get 126 valid IPs. For example, I have taken this network. It will start from 180.1.0.128, then 129, so on. And you can see it is stopping at 1.0 is the next network. Means you will stop at 0.255. Because 0.255 after that next network is 1.0. 1.0 is this network. So this will be your broadcast ID, this will be your network ID. Leaving network and broadcast, you will get 126 valid IPs.
Yes, sir.
This is how you will do for the host requirement 100. Okay. Copy this one also.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then let's do the one more. Same thing, you have a network 180.1.0.0. Requirement is 1000 IPs. Now the method is 2 power h minus 2 should be greater equal to 1000. 2 power 8 is 256, 2 power 9 is 512, 2 power 10 is 1024. So 2 power 10 minus 2 is greater than 1000. The h value will be 10, and this is from class B. So network and host 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 bits, 3, 6, 7, 8. We have to save the 10 bits, always come from the last octet. 8 plus 2, 10 bits. Then remaining bits we are converting 3, 4, 5, 6 bits. And the last network bit is 1, 2, 4 is the last bit. So your increment value will be 4, and this value got in the third octet. So your first network will be 180.1.0.0 slash what will be subnet mask? 8 bits from here, 8 bits from here, and from here you are taking the 6 bits, that is 22. So in the next network will be plus 4 in the third octet. 180.1.4.0 subnet mask 22. 4 plus 4, 8.0 subnet mask 22. 8 plus 4, 12.0 subnet mask 22. Like this, the end value will be 180.1.250 3 minus 252.0 subnet mask 22. So subnet mask is 22, so always you will get 1022 IPs. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So check these things, and for this homework is also there for you. You have a network 100.0.0 with a subnet mask 8, and you need to find the requirement of some 50 IPs. You need to break this network into a requirement of 50 IPs. Same thing, 100.0.0 slash 8. The requirement of the IPs is 8,000. You need to have subnet of 8,000 IPs. Then do this one also, 100. Nothing is hard here. everything. You
Yes.
need to know the power value. You need to divide this into the requirement of some, let's go with the value 200, and one more 100.0.0/8 65,000. Okay, so do these things. If you have any problem, I will solve for you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.